Hello, this is Dan. Welcome to my YouTube video. Today we're going to install and set up PCem version 17 and install Windows 98 2nd edition. Okay, let's fire up Google. Type in PCem, press enter, and it should pop up as the first thing on your list there. So click on that. The new release is version 17. It was released 1st of December 2020, so it's pretty old. And go to downloads and download either Linux or Windows. I'm using Windows, so I'll download Windows. Okay, it downloaded. Back out of there, go back to Google. Then type in space ROMs. And go with PCem ROMs version 17. Go to github.com. This one right here will list all the ROMs. What they are, they're motherboard ROMs. Okay. Alright, click on the code up here and click on download zip. And it's done. Alright, let's get out of Google. Go to your downloads. And there they are, right there. Extract the PCem. Extract all. Okay. Takes it a couple seconds. Okay. Now for the ROMs, click on that and extract all. And extract. Okay. Alrighty, we got two folders. Alright, click on the PCem ROMs folder. Double click it. Double click it again. Select the top one and press Ctrl A to select all. And select copy. Get out of there. Go to the PCem version 17 Win. Double click it. Go to the ROMs folder. Double click it. And click paste. 43 files to be replaced as the same name. Place files. Okay, get out of that. Well, I shouldn't have got out of it completely. Double click it to open it. Alright, at the top, click on Config and Control A to select all files and copy. Alright, now we need to create a folder on your hard disk. I put all my stuff on a data drive, so we'll go there and we'll create a new folder called Win98SE. You can name it anything you want, but I name mine what I'm going to use it for. Alright, double click it to open it and then click paste. Alrighty. Go back to your downloads, highlight all those folders and zip file and delete. Alright, for this emulation, we're going to install Windows 98 2nd Edition. And we're going to install Voodoo 2 drivers, along with the S3 Verge driver. Alright, the Voodoo driver I'm going to be using is version 3.0, 3.00. And the S3 Verge is going to be the DX375 here. And it's version 3.12.01. So you have to extract it, then you get this folder, what you'll need. You also need DirectX 7. I got DirectX 70 English. So you can find all these files on the internet if you don't already have them. Okay. But you'll need those files for the drivers and stuff as we go along. Okay. Now on your desktop, right click on it, and we're going to create a shortcut. And we're going to browse. Click browse. This PC, where I got my files, data drive, Win98, and scroll down to PCem. Select it and select OK. Select next. We'll call it Windows 98 SE. Finish. Okay, that's so we don't have to keep going in and out of the Win98 SE folder all the time on File Explorer. We can get to it directly from here. Okay, double click the icon you just created, shortcut, to bring up the configuration of PCem. My PC thinks it says it's unknown publisher. I'm going to tell it to run anyways. I only got to tell it once. It remembers it next time. Okay, there's nothing, no configurations in the box up here. We got to create one. So go to New down here on the bottom left and type, we'll call it Windows 98 SE. Click OK. It'll take it a second, then it'll go to the configuration screen. Alrighty. The machine or motherboard we're going to be using today is, you could choose any of these. As you can see, these are 8088, so they're 8-bit. Then you can 286s, 386s, and 486s. But we want something a little bit more robust. Let's pick the socket 7 Shuttle Hot 557. So we'll click it. Alright. Intel CPU, you could choose Intel, AMD, IDT, or Cyrix. Alright, I'm going to leave mine to Intel. Alright, you can choose what CPU you want to emulate. Just remember, you need a pretty powerful system to emulate these CPUs. I'd say about 4 to 5 gigahertz or higher to run these 300 or 233. The reason being is because when you boot up Windows, the sound will be laggy. If you try to go with too high of a CPU emulation than what your machine can handle. Therefore, the sound will be laggy. But if you get a 4 or 5 gigahertz processor, you could probably go up to 300 easily without no sound lag. I'm going to go with PCem 90 because mine's just a 2.8 gigahertz processor. So I'm going to choose PCem 90. Alrighty. This right here you can't change. 128's a max. See, watch. I backspace out of it and I type in 512. It still won't do it. So we'll leave that alone. I'll show you how to fix that here in just a minute. Alrighty. We're done on this screen. Let's go to display. It's on CGA right now, the device. What we want is the S3 Verge DX for this emulation today. Go to config, make sure it's on 4 megabytes. And it's bilinear and dithering is checked. Okay, click OK. We're also going to install Voodoo Graphics on our system. So check it to enable it, and then go and configure and choose Voodoo 2 Graphics. We're going to give it 4 megabytes frame buffer and 4 megabytes texture memory size. And we're going to say it's an SLI mode. Okay. Go to sound. Right now it's at none. Seems like the emulation runs pretty good at Sound Blaster 16, so we'll leave it at that. I wouldn't mess with anything else here. Alright, the hard drive will come back in a second. Alright, the mouse, leave it at Microsoft 2-button mouse serial. Okay. Game port, just leave it like it is. Network, we're not going to install no networking today, but if you want to, you can use Novell or Realtek. Just remember, if you're going to use any of those, you'll have to have the drivers for them. So you'll have to download them, or if you don't already have them available, then you can install them in Windows 98. Okay, let's go to hard drives. Make sure it's selected IDE, standard IDE. Floppy disk 1 and 2 is at 2.88 megabytes. CD model is at PCem CD. The CD speed is at 24. Let's boost that up. 52. Alright. Primary master C is hard drive. You can select it to be CD-ROM or iOmega zip drive. Alright. You can go to where, if you already have an image created, just go to folder and it'll be looking for an image or a VHD only file. So, if you already have one. We don't have one created. Just 1 second here. For this emulation, I need to do something. Okay. Alright, we want to create one. Alright, select the new button. Alright, leave it a raw image. You can leave a raw image or any of these formats here. They're all VHD, virtual hard disk. Alright, click on the folder here for new file. And we'll call it, we'll go to the data drive. This is where I keep my hard drives, images, my PCem hard drives. Go there, and we'll call it Win98SE. The reason why I call them names, that way I know which hard drives for which system that I'm installing on on PCem. Like I have Win 3.11 hard drive. Okay. Select save. Alrighty. Right now it's a 511, 63, and 16. Alright. Here's the size in megabytes. How big do you want this to be? We'll just make it a 4 gigger today. Type in 4,000. Leave that alone right there unless you want to manually set the cylinders and the heads and size manually. Okay, we're not going to change anything. We're going to let PCem create a size for us. You notice it changed everything here. So, okay, we're going to click OK. And it says creating drive. Please wait. Takes us a few seconds. I'm hailing from you from North Carolina, by the way, in the United States. I'm 60 years old, going on 60. 61, rather. So I'm an old sucker compared to some of you guys. Okay. Drive is created. Remember to partition and format the new drive. We'll have to do that in DOS. Okay, as you can see, it's using that file. All right. Now we got the primary slave, which would be D. We're going to choose CD-ROM for this right here. All right. We're all done. Okay, press OK. And press load. Press the delete key. Press enter. As you can see, it might not be on your machine, but my machine updated the time and date. So, okay. Move the down arrow key. All right, we want the primary master to be on auto, primary slave on auto. Secondary master, press the page down key for user, and then the down page again for none. The same thing for secondary slave. Page down, page down. So we got none on both those. Says it's using drive A is a 2.88 megabyte drive. Drive B, press page down. Since we got two drives, make it the same size. All right. Press escape. Go down to BIOS feature setup and press enter. Virus warning disabled. That's good. We don't want it running. All right. It looks like everything else. Let's see if we can change this. Page down, 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 page down. I will leave it at that. All righty. Okay, press escape. Right arrow, down arrow, down arrow, down arrow, save and exit. Press enter. Since we told it not to look for the others, it won't look for other hard drives installed. Okay, everything looks good. It says disk boot failure, insert system disk and press enter. Everything looks great. Okay. Shutdown. Okay. Okay. Let's close out PCem for a second here. Close it out. Now I was going to show you how to change the memory size. Okay. That it wouldn't let you in the config screen. So go to where you made your folder of Win98SE, which is mine right here. Double click it and go up to configs and double click it, and you'll see Windows 98 SE config file. All right. Click it once and then right click and then edit. All righty. This is what the config PCem configured your whole system that you chose. See right there's your hard drive is in D colon. All right. Here's the mem size. All right. We want to change that. Let's change it to 524,288. That's 512 megabytes. That's 512 times 1024 equals 524,288. All right. So we typed that in, go up to File up here at the top, and select Save. Exit out of there. Close that. Double click the Win98 icon again. Alright, click load. Now if you go back into configuration, it will reset it back to 128. So make sure you don't do that. Okay, it seems to be working. It's kind of small, I know. But there it is, 524. You got 512 megabytes, which should be plenty of memory for Windows 98 and the games that you're going to be running on it. Okay, up here at the top, you have System. You can do a hard reset. That's like turning off the system and restart. Then you got Control-Delete the machine. Now, I recommend you do the Control-Delete in this menu here and don't do it on your actual PC. Because if you do, you'll reboot your actual PC. You don't want to do that. Alright, of course, shut down the emulation. In the disk, this is your floppy drives. Drive A and Drive V. You eject them. Alright, you can load zip drive and eject zip drive. CD-ROM, this is where you load the images. Or if you have an actual CD-ROM drive, it'll show up right here. What disk you have in the drive. For instance, we're going to install Windows 98 2nd edition. If you have the actual disk, then put it in your CD-ROM drive in your PC. And then when you come to this and select CD-ROM, you can move down and you'll see your CD-ROM drive right here on your actual PC. Alright, cassettes, video. Alright, leave the resolution at original. Don't toggle that. Remember size. Don't click on that. Alright, to change to full screen, you Control-Alt page down to toggle the full screen mode from full screen to this window here. Full screen on input grab. I like doing that so when the mouse is inside the emulation, like in that small window there, all you got to do is click inside it and it'll go to full screen. So we'll do that. And it says use Control-Alt page down to return to window mode. Alright. Whoops. Alright, render driver. I like DirectX 3D. Makes it look a little bit more clear. You could choose OpenGL or software. Vertical sync I'd leave off. Alright. You can mess around with these other settings if you want. Sound. Buffer length. So it's probably best to leave it at 200 millisecond. You can mess around with these settings here. Mess around with the milliseconds if your sound is real laggy. Alright. Output. Normal. You can increase it up to 18 decibels. Okay. Miscellaneous. You can take a screenshot. Format as a PNG, TIFF, bitmap, or JPEG. Alright. Machine. All that is a comes up with this. You can go to the options real quick. Configure real quick. Miscellaneous. This is the floppy icons. And these little squares here are lights that light up when the floppies are running. Hard drive and CD-ROM. It's not very useful, I don't think. Okay. We want to insert a disk. What you also need for this is a boot disk. Since we're running Windows 98, you'll need a boot disk. I put mine under Images. Win98 boot. And for sake, we'll go ahead and load the image of this Windows 98 image, which I have under CD Images. Okay. So we got everything there. Okay, we're going to do a system hard reset. And we're going to go full screen. I clicked inside the window and it went to full screen. Looks pretty cool, don't it? I mean, it's like an actual old PC that was back in the 90s. All right, choose number 2. Yes, I'm a smoker. All right, remember it's drive D up here at the top. Is the drive. Okay, we're at the floppy. So type F disk and press enter. Yes, we have a drive over 2 gigabytes. So we want to enable large disk support, so press enter. Create DOS partition or logical DOS drive is number 1, so just press enter. Create primary DOS partition, press enter. Do you want to use the maximum size? Press enter. Alright. Says we must restart, so press escape. Alright. Go to Control Alt page down to get out full screen. Go there and go to hard reset. Since we told not to look for other hard drives, it only comes up with these 2, the primary, master, and slave. Alright. Start start Windows 98 setup from CD. Yes. Just leave it at 1. It will install the driver for it. Alright, we're in. Alright. Welcome to setup. Alright. Down at the bottom it says enter to continue. So press enter. Format this drive recommended. Press enter. Formatting drive C. This will take about a minute or 2. It's 4 gigabyte. I know that's not very big and now, but back then that was a pretty good sized drive for Windows 98. It's formatting FAT32 file system on it, which is good since it's a large drive compared to this time. So Windows 95, I believe, only formatted in FAT16 file system. This is a lot easier than um, DOS box, I believe. Just a lot more compatible. You could do things more in this than you could in DOS box. For one, you have to mount drives and mount CDs and all that stuff in the command line parameters. This right here is a lot easier to use than DOSBox, and it's as safe as a virtual drive. I'm not virtual drive, but a virtual DOS, virtual Windows. It's as safe as that because it won't upset your system because it's using a hard disk image. So if you any viruses or anything won't come from this to your Windows drive, and vice versa. Press enter. Scan disk is now running. Alrighty. We got a workable mouse. Okay, click on continue. Now it's preparing. Windows 98 takes a little bit longer to install than Windows 95 did. Windows 95 would install about 7 minutes or 10 minutes on a fast system. And it boot up real quick too. Okay, leave it like it is. Click next. Drinking my orange juice. It's a COVID fighter. Along with vitamin D3 and other supplements as the COVID pandemic is going on. All right. For most people, they'll pick typical. That installs everything. But I'm not typical. I like custom because I want to be able to install what I want to install and not install things I don't want. So I pick custom. You can pick typical. I don't need accessibility, so uncheck it. Accessories, yeah, why not? I don't need briefcase, calculator, desktop, documents, games, imaging, mouse pointers, why not? Paint, yeah. Quick views, that, and that. Okay. I don't need communications because I'm not going to get on the internet or connect to other computers. This is just for gaming, to play old games with. So, uncheck that. Desktop themes, yes. Internet tools, I don't need. I don't need multi-language support. You might. Multimedia. Online services, I don't need. I don't need Outlook Express. And system tools. And I don't need web TV. Alrighty. After you select what you want and what you don't want, click Next. Let's give it a name. I'm going to give it my name, Dan. Keyboard, United States. Yes, regional is English, United States. United States. Startup disk. Now, we're not going to create one, but it does give you the option to it'll give you the option to stop it here in just a second. Alrighty, it says we're not create one, just click cancel. It says remove the disk, but we don't have to. Alright, click next. Alright. Down here, there'll be a bar showing copying Windows files. It'll show up here in a few seconds. Like me another SIG. Alright, file copy progress bar has come up. This is really the longest part of the process. It will take probably about 6 minutes or so. Like I said, Windows 98 copied files real quick when it was installing. Windows 98 is a little bit bigger than Windows 95, so it's got a little bit more luggage to install than Windows 95. I've installed Windows for years, since the 90s. I messed with DOS 1.0 to 6.22. Installed Windows 3.1, 3.11, Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows Millennium, Windows 2000, Windows XP, Windows 2, Vista, and then so on and so forth. I got them all. I bought them all. I know I gave Microsoft a lot of money. I should have bought stock in Microsoft. That's what I should have done. While you're waiting, you could be reading all this stuff that you have read in probably decades. I about got it all memorized. I I read it so many times. I wasn't afraid to mess around with Windows. If Windows 95 or Windows 98 didn't act the way I wanted it to, heck, I'd just format the drive and reinstall it. Start fresh. That's what I always say. Even Windows 10. I've installed it a few times. There's no Windows operating system that's confused me or befuddled me. Or what do you say? Took me aback, like in shoot, I can't think of the word I want to use. But anyways, used to program in GW Basic too. That's a DOS basic program that they had in DOS, and used to program in that. And I programmed on the Commodore 64 Basic, which I like better than GW Basic. But that's another story. If I'm going too fast for you, all you gotta do is pause this video or back or rewind it to the place you want to go over again. I don't think I'm going too fast. Of course, that could be me, That's what I was looking for. I never had a Windows operating system that intimidated me. That's what the word I was looking for. Made me scared to use it and install it. Some people are totally scared about installing Windows. There's nothing to it, really. And we're up 26%. 27. It's moving a little bit faster. Like I said, this is the longest part of the install. The file copy progress. If you like this video, I'd like to hear from you. Give me a comment in the comment section. I'll get back to you on it, what you want, or if there's any questions, you can ask them there, and I'll comment you back in the comment section. Now, to move those programs like the Voodoo 2 drivers, the S3 Verge driver, and the DirectX 7 driver to the image, the hard drive image, you can't do it within Windows by itself because you'll have to mount it. And I'll show you a program that I use. It's a free program that mounts images or VHDs, and you can, once it's mounted, then you can move and you can copy and paste stuff to the image drive just like a regular hard drive. So you can, if you got floppy disks of games, or no, that's not a good example. Well, just regular programs, or if you have a game that's an exe file, something like that, you can copy it and paste it to that image drive when it's mounted, and then you have to unmount it to run PCem again. If you leave it mounted, PCem won't be able to use that drive. It'll come up with an error message because another program's using it. So you have to close it out. I'll show you how to do that here in just a minute. Well, we're up to 57. Yeah, back in the day you had to run scan disk quite a bit. Check your hard drive out for disk errors. And you also had to run defragmenter to defragment the hard drive to make it so it'd run a little bit quicker when you boot it up. Windows the newer Windows, like Windows 10, right now the hard drives are SSD mainly. The operating system drives usually are. And they'll do Windows 10 will do the trim on them and get them optimized to 100% on the trim. And so it run in top shape. I say the days of IDE hard drives is about over with. Is going by the wayside. I know there's a lot of you out there that have them, and they're still for sale. You can still buy them. But with SSD coming out and the prices dropping on them, it's more practical to get it. For one, they're all digital, all electronic, no moving parts, boot faster than IDE, and you can get them in 2-3 terabyte if you want to. So, and though as technology increases, you'll get them in bigger terabytes. So, like CDs and DVDs, you don't see many stores nowadays that's renting out DVDs, movies, or anything, and now it's all streamed. So, or people's taking their movies that they got and digitizing them on their hard drives and then watching them on their TV through a computer or whatnot, and or streaming them on Netflix or Hulu or whatever. So the ways of the DVD is going by the wayside. CDs, basically about the same. The only CDs only CD I know that I have is in my car, a CD player. It's a 6-disc CD player. So, but I don't have a CD player in my house, and I don't have a DVD player in my house. I don't need them. I got everything digitized. And if I want to watch something new or whatever, I go to Netflix or Hulu and watch it from there. But there's other sites out there that has more movies and shows and sports and news, and I mean, you don't need all that clutter. You don't need all those hundreds of DVDs that you collected over the years of movies when you can digitize them and keep them all electronically. I just think it's easier, more convenient. You don't have to flip through binders to find the DVD you want. And you can take up the clutter on your entertainment center by taking out the DVD player and the CD player. All right, we're almost done. We're up to 90. Like I said, this is the longest part of the process here. It took probably about 5 or 6 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, not much. Rest of it will be rebooting and setting up your hardware, plug and play devices, and all that stuff. Okay, setup is now ready. Remove all disks from floppies. Okay, so we'll Control Alt page down and go to disk at the top here and eject drive A. Click back in the box and click OK. And then click on Restart Now. Getting ready to run Windows for the first time. Alright, type your name below. Alright, D-A. Alright, click next. I don't have a company, so yes, I accept the agreement. Click next. Now it's asking for the product key. Alright, if you got the original disc, you got the product key. So, I do too, but I put my product key so I wouldn't lose it. Make it a little bit easier. I typed it in a notepad. So I go back up here, CD images, Win98 key. Alrighty, highlight this again to make sure it's selected. Alright, now you can start typing. I must have typed something wrong here. Oh, I double typed in that. My fingers get shaky. Gets that way when you're old, like me. Alright. And finish. Windows 10 Eh, it's a pretty good operating system, but it is ugly, I think. I mean, everything's squared, and the little dots twirling in a circle as you're booting up, and the Windows logo, as you're booting up and stuff. Yeah, it's just ugly looking. It seems like to me, with the new operating system and the new hardware that's out today, they could have um, put high resolution graphics on it, and made 3D, effects on it and stuff. I mean, come on, they could have done better than they did. Okay, click on restart now. If I chose a more powerful Pentium, it'd probably go a little bit faster, but kind of doubt it. But all right, time zone. Everything up here looks good, except for um, the time zone. I'm in Eastern Time, U.S. and Canada. So, okay. Click Apply. Then click OK. And we're almost done. It goes through this pretty quick. When it gets to system configuration, it'll take about a minute or so, minute or two. when it gets to about right here, it really drops fast. The time over here. You can tell it's working when you see that little hourglass. Sometimes you think the system froze up, but it didn't. We're down to less than a minute. And it's done. Restart now. Alright, the sound's not laggy. So I picked the right CPU to emulate. Like I said, if your sound's laggy, choose the lower CPU. The next one lower, and keep doing that till the sound stops lagging. I know you want to run the highest CPU emulation you can, but you know, sometimes your system can't run the highest. And there's Windows. See how smooth the music is? No lagging to it. Alrighty, you don't want this screen to show up every time Windows starts. So uncheck that. Close it out. Alright, I like to clean up my desktop of stuff I'm not going to use, like online services. So I'm going to delete that. Yes. Delete this. Yes. And delete this. This. Like I said, I'm not going to get on the internet with this. I'm just going to play old games on it. Besides, the internet on Windows 98, even if you upgrade to, even if you install the service packs, that's another thing too. If you're going to install service packs, you'll want to mount the image and drag and drop them onto that image. Okay. Go to computer, right click it, go to properties, make sure everything looks good. 512 megabytes of RAM. See device manager. Those are your Voodoo 2 cards right there. Multimedia. We don't care about a printer port, so we can leave it like it is. Advanced Power Management has a exclamation point, but that's not no problem. Alright, performance. Graphics is on full. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Now right click on your desktop, go to properties, go to settings, go to advanced, and go to monitor, and change. Plug and play monitor. That's what I'm going to select. You can choose anything you want. Or if you have one of these monitors, you can choose them. Plug and play is fine. Alrighty. It automatically set it up as Energy Star compliant. Click apply. And click OK. Well, wait a minute. Go to adapter. We'll change the drivers here in a minute. Click OK. Alright. We're in 16-bit color. Let's increase that to 1600 is too much. 1152. We'll try that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Click OK. Alright, now we're going to install DirectX 7 and all the other stuff. Alright, to do that we need to shut down the computer. Go to shutdown, and shutdown is selected. So click OK. It is now safe to turn off your computer. Control-Alt page down, and go to System at the top, and select Shutdown to close out the emulation. Don't ask again, it should be checked. And close out the emulation totally. Okay. Now, the program I use to mount disk images is called IMDisk. You probably got another program that does basically the same thing. But I like IMDisk. It'll mount hard disk images, CD-ROM images, floppy images. So, but anyways, if you want it, it's a free program. There's no sign up for it or anything. Just fire up Google and type in the search engine IMDisk, IMDisk, and press enter. And you'll see IMDisk Toolkit download. Alright, right there's the download link for it. Says this tool will let you mount image files of hard drive, CD-ROM, or floppy, and create one or several RAM disks with various parameters. Okay. And it's for Windows XP, Vista 7 through 10, 32 or 64-bit. So it will install whatever version you need. Alright. And so when you download it, like that, click on that, it'll say waiting, your download will start shortly. Now it's downloading. It's a very small file. It's only 487 kilobytes. But anyways, like I said, it's free, virus free, and it's an installer. So close out that. Oh, continue download. Alright. And if you go to your downloads folder, there it is. It's a zip file, compressed zip. So you have to uncompress it, then install it. But I've already got it, so I don't need it. But if you want it, that's how you'll do it. Okay. Alrighty. Since I've already got it, you go. I don't have the RAM disk installed on mine. I just got the mount image and the virtual disk. Alright. So to mount an image disk, go to Mount Image File icon. Double click it. And it says image file. And you'll want to choose the hard drive image that you're using. We're using Win98. So navigate to wherever you had your folder of Win98 SE or wherever you saved the image, the hard disk image to, and double click it, Win98 SE. Tells you it's 3.9 gigabytes and it's a FAT32. And you could choose what drive letter you want. It's selected E, but you can click down there and select any drive you want, any drive letter you want. Select OK. Alrighty, automatically comes up. See, this is your C drive on your Windows 98 drive. Alrighty. Go to downloads. Alright, we want to select this one, this, and this. Select copy. Go to your local disk E now, or whatever drive letter that you chose, or whatever drive letter it chose. If you got more than one, if you got more than 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hard drives, they will select a drive letter for you. That's past those. Okay, and select paste. Now it's on the C drive of the Windows 98 drive. Alright. So we got those programs. We got those on there. So close that out. Now we have to unmount it. So go to IMDisk Virtual Drive. Double click it. Now it shows the hard drive that you got mounted. So click it to highlight it and click remove down at the bottom down here. Alright, now PCem will be able to use the hard drive again. So double click the Windows 98 SE icon and click load. Nothing to it. Okay. Let's turn that up some so you can hear it. Alright, go to my computer, double click it to open it, and double click C drive. Alrighty, there's DirectX 7, Voodoo 2, and the S3 Verge folder. Alright, double click DirectX 7. This will install Microsoft. Do you wish to continue? Yes. Yes. Okay, needs to restart. Now, if you want to place more programs on the C drive, then just do what I did. Mount it, mount the image disk, and then drag and drop program files onto it, and unmount it, and start up PCem again. Alrighty. We'll close that out for a second. Alright, right click on your desktop, go to Properties, go to Settings, Advanced, and go to Adapter. Alright, we want to change. This is an old driver, so we're going to change it. Alright, next. Display a list of drivers. Yes. We want to select it. Select Have Disk. Browse. S3 Verge right here, the folder. Double click it, double click it again, and now it says s3verge.inf. Select OK. Select OK again at the top here, and select OK again. Closer match for your hardware device than the driver you have selected. Are you sure you want to use the driver you selected? We'll say yes. We'll see what it does. And select Finish. Select Apply. Now it's at 256 colors. We want True Color 24-bit. Apply. Okay. Now we should be at 24-bit. There was a little lag there I detected. But not too bad. Let's check it again. Go to Settings. 24-bit True Color. Okay. Cancel. Alright, now we want to install the Voodoo 2 drivers. Double click My Computer again. Double click the C drive. And then the 3DFX icon here. Double click it. Select OK. See, it's wanting to go to the Windows 10. I like to make a folder called temp. It's easier to get to. And then select Unzip. Now this is a little bit more involved. This README file walks you through the installation process here, the installation and stuff. Tells you how to do it. But you can read that if you want and then do it but I'm going to walk you through how to do it. Okay. Right click on My Computer and select Properties. Go to Device Manager. Select, double click the first PCI multimedia device and go to Driver and go to Update Driver. Go to Next. Display a list. Alright, scroll down to Sound, Video, and Game Controllers. Click that. Click Have Disk. Click Browse. Double click the temp folder it created for the Voodoo. And leave it at auto. Click OK. Click OK again. And click OK again. Then click Next. Alright, it's finished. No, we don't want to restart now. Close. Now for the other multimedia device, do the same thing. Click Next. Display a list. Sound, video, and game controllers. Click Next. Go ahead and use the Voodoo 2 here. Click Next. Next. And finish. Now we'll restart. Alright, we should have Voodoo 2 installed. To find out, right click on the desktop and go to Properties. There it is, up there at the top. 3DFX Voodoo 2. Click Close there. Link Gamma Sliders, yeah, do that. Alright, leave it at both, Direct 3D and Glide. Go to Advanced. I like to check Force Trilineal, enable automatic bit mapping. For Glide, I like to do that. Triple color. Yeah, why not? Enhance my desktop. That's pretty cool. Watch what it does. Click Apply. And OK. Alrighty. But anyways, there you got it. Now you can install games and what else that you want to install. Whatever you want. That you used to do on Windows 98 back in the day. Play those old games. This will be completely compatible with them. And you'll have Voodoo capability. Alrighty. If you want to find out about your Voodoo card, see if it's Find Files and Folders, go to Start, Find Files and Folders. And we want to type in Direct dxdiagnostic.exe. Alright. And click on the C drive. Find now. Alright. Copy. And paste. Now it's on your desktop. There we go. Double click it. Says you're using an Intel Pentium 90 megahertz. Computer name is Dan. Tells you your DirectF files and medium files. Display 1, display 2. Display 1 is your S3 purge. You can test the Direct 3 on it. As you see, the S3 Verge is really slow. Pretty pathetic, really. But I guess back in the day it was something. Plus, it's using software. It's not using hardware. Yeah, we saw it, but it wasn't. Okay, now it's going to use hardware acceleration. It's a little bit faster. Yes, we saw the spinning cube. Alright, but the difference is, let's see, Voodoo 2 DirectX 7 driver. Using software. This test will use software. As you can see, the software is really slow. Even for the Voodoo driver. Okay. Now it's going to use hardware acceleration. You see, it's a lot faster than the S3. Yes. Okay, everything looks good. Passed all the tests. Well, we didn't do direct draw or anything on any of them, but if it does a direct 3D, it'll do direct draw. But anyways, that's installing Windows 98 Second Edition right there. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative for you. And like I said, send me feedback on it if you liked it or not. I mean, if there's negative feedback, that's fine. Don't matter to me. Positives are always good, but negatives are fine too. You know, if I made a mistake somewhere, you could tell me. I'm not a pro at this. So, but anyways, let's close out Windows 98. Shut down. Control page down. Go to System. Shut down. And exit quit. Alrighty, well, you have a great day. And till next time, look for more videos by Dan on YouTube. Okay? You have a great day. Bye.